Hi everyone, it's Nick here from TrainAid once again, and in today's video we are looking at the Level 3 Award in Education and Training, Unit B, Inclusive Practice. And question 2.4 is looking at ways to summarise ways to establish ground rules with learners. So for this question, please can you explain how ground rules should be created when teaching a new class? So we're looking at ground rules, we're looking at what rules are, when should ground rules be created. We also need to give examples of common ground rules, and how should ground rules be documented. Okay, but let's go back to the beginning and let's think about what ground rules are. So ground rules are created at the very beginning of a new course. And it's essentially a list of rules that's created by all learners in the class, and they're often written down for all to see. Okay, so they are the agreed upon expectations, and they help to guide behavior, communication, and participation within a learning environment. So ground rules are basically a course contract. So learners will perhaps spend about 10 minutes, often with a flip chart paper. You have one learner who's going to be the scribe, and it's an opportunity for learners to talk about what rules should they follow as well. And it's a fantastic way of promoting mutual respect between learners and also the teacher as well. It includes just an opportunity for discussion as well, to really sort of set the boundaries, and to come up with an agreed sense of rules in terms of mobile phone use, how often breaks are as well. Can learners perhaps go to the toilet during the lesson? So it's an opportunity to agree, negotiate rules, and I think it's a really powerful way for learners to come up with an agreed set of rules, and also learners can police these rules as well. So learners can maybe give reminders to their classmates if a learner does perhaps break a rule, then their classmates can sort of reinforce the rule instead of a teacher intervening as well. Having been a teacher within the college sector for many years, I always do ground rules at the start of the academic year, and I display them just on the wall within the classroom. I often laminate the rules as well, and I think it's a fantastic way of creating a very much a classroom contract. You could get your learners to even put their signatures on the rules as well. You could even get the teacher to put their signature as well, for even the teacher to follow the rules there. So just first things first, what are ground rules? So you, for this assignment question, you just need to write just a paragraph on what ground rules are within teaching and training. And as mentioned before, it's done at the start of a class. It's written down for all to see. It empowers the learners because they have the opportunity to get the rules off their chest, and it's better than a teacher saying what the rules are, where learners can often switch off and be disengaged. So it empowers learners to speak up and to list their rules. Again, it's promoting the functional skills, literacy and language of writing the skills down. I have very much answered this question. When should ground rules be created? So we need to write down when ground rules should be created. So it's, of course, it happens at the beginning of a course. So it's an opportunity for all learners to have their say on how the course should be delivered, and it's really setting out the foundations for a good course as well. If you try to promote ground rules perhaps halfway through a course, learners might be a bit confused or not take them seriously. It doesn't have the same shine or effect as well. So it has to be done at the start, early doors, and that way you'll get your learners to have much more of a buy-in as well. So it might take 10 minutes, as mentioned before, but it's a really valuable 10 minutes because it gets learners to think about their own behavior and how their classmates should behave as well. So obviously before we mentioned your learners can probably police these rules. You could even have a classroom rep as well. So learners will be monitoring each other's hopeful, behaviors and giving reminders, so you don't need to be very much an authoritarian figure as a teacher. You can let the learners police themselves as well. Question number 3 is give examples of common ground rules. So here we're just looking for just some examples of ground rules. So maybe if you were to give 5 common ground rules as well. So what ground rules would I expect on the flip chart paper at the start of a lesson? Well, the first one is typically mobile phone use. So when can learners use their mobile phones? Rest breaks as well, how long lunch breaks are, that's quite a common one as well. So you can sort of negotiate how long breaks are. There's often questions about what happens in the room stays in the room. So that really does sort of promote discussion as well, that whatever learners say, it will be confidential to the room. Others are like hands up rules. So if learners have a question, no shouting out. Perhaps a learner will put their hand up, so all learners will listen to each other. Learners, once again, going back to questions, if a learner is talking to the teacher, responding to a question, then learners need to listen and not be distracted or to be on their phones under the table, for example, as well. Another common ground rule I see is from a teacher point of view, the learners would like the teacher to give them honest feedback, to perhaps mark work on time, to give kind of that one-to-one tailored feedback. So I often see that within ground rules for a teacher to be supportive to every individual there. But once again, try and aim for perhaps a bullet pointed list of, I would say, 5 ground rules is sufficient there. So go for 5. Next one is how should ground rules be documented? So that should be done once again at the start of a lesson, but written down for all to see. So what you could do is if you have some flip chart paper or simply a whiteboard, you could get your learners to write down the rules. As mentioned, you could have one person who's the scribe and to write these down. I always think it's very good to get learners to sign the flip chart paper or whiteboard, so we are all in agreement of these classroom rules. If you're delivering a course on Zoom or Teams remotely, you could get learners to write their rules within perhaps the chat box as well, so it comes up with the rules. And once again, you could get learners to do a thumbs up emoji if they agree with the classroom rules as well. So that's perhaps how to do it virtually. You could even get one person to open up a Word document and to list the rules and to send an email with the ground rules as well. So there are different ways of doing it, but it should be displayed, especially within the classroom setting, for all learners to see and to adhere to as well. So maybe just a couple of lines there on how should ground rules be documented. So make sure they are visible to see throughout your lesson. So that is it. That is Summarise ways to establish ground rules with learners. As mentioned before, they're done at the start of the course. They're really there to empower learners to create a positive culture or atmosphere. And learners, when they know about the rules, they will hopefully police them as well. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully the video has been useful. Please do like the video and subscribe to TrainAid. Thank you so much for watching.